USWNT first overall pick in the inaugural PWHL Draft, selected by her hometown team, Minnesota. 5 seasons at the University of Minnesota, the 2022 Penny Kazmaier winner for the top female college athlete in hockey, as well as a 2023 World Championship gold medal with Team USA, 12 points in those 7 games. Taylor Heise, nice enough to join us right now on NHL Tonight. Taylor, congratulations. We just saw the video, the first ever pick in the first ever PWHL Draft. You go to your hometown team, Minnesota. What was that moment like?
Yeah, it was an unreal moment. I think for me, it was surreal. Minnesota has the best fans, in my opinion, and I played here my whole life. So to continue my hockey career here in Minnesota is something really special. And the draft was something that I'll never forget, especially Billie Jean King announcing me. She's historic in herself. So it's something I'll never forget, and I'm really, really proud to be staying in Minnesota to play the sport that I love.
Yeah, and talk about the person that's making that announcement, the first ever draft pick to the PWHL, but Billie Jean King. Has she not been a great shot in the arm for this league, for women's hockey in general, Taylor?
Absolutely. She's part of the reason why we've been able to get off the ground. She's someone that I've done a lot more digging on recently, looking at her past accomplishments and her game in the Battle of the Sexes, where there was 90 million people watching her play. And she's still continuing to break barriers to this day. She's on TV everywhere I look. So she's someone I'm looking up to for sure. And when I saw that she was staying on stage and she was announcing the first overall pick, and when I heard my name come out of her mouth, it was an unreal feeling. And to go up there and be right next to her, the photo that I have of us two is definitely going to be on my phone for the rest of my life.
You talked about this league coming together, and it felt like it came together very quickly, but it's got a great structure and certainly a great blueprint of where it's heading. How involved were you in the process, and what are your thoughts on what season 1 is going to be like in the PWHL?
Yeah, I think for me, I had just graduated from college and come out of that side, so I didn't have too much of the background knowledge of this league. A lot of my teammates, USA teammates, Hillary Knight, Kendall Coyne, a lot of Canadian teammates as well, they did a lot of that background work that I wasn't necessarily doing because I was still in college. But I got to give full props to them. They're the reason why we were able to get off the ground so fast and have everything work out the way that it has. Super, super excited to be a part of it. I think this first year, it's going to be historic. Obviously, it already is. But to have all of the best players in the world competing on one stage instead of multiple different stages is going to be something that we're all going to remember.
Well, and add to that, Taylor, I mean, I've heard you say it, and you've really, you know, these fans, this community, of course, has endeared itself to you. 5 years at the amateur level, University of Minnesota, while a collegiate player. But, you know, as a pro, taking it to kind of another level, what's that mean to be kind of a hometown installation to the new franchise there?
Yeah, it means the world to me to have little girls and women and little boys to look up to me and to see that you put in the work, it's gonna work out for you. And to now be able to tell every little girl that if you work hard, you're gonna be able to play professionally. If you really do what you need to do, it's a dream come true. Because for me, that wasn't necessarily the case. So I'm honored to be a part of it. And obviously, like, playing in front of my hometown, both in high school and college, was amazing. And be able to stay local here and continue to see the little girls that I've been being able to teach and look after these past few years is going to be awesome. And I'm really looking forward to the opportunity for that.
You talk about the way the game is played at the youth level from a female perspective. Just give us a statement around how vigorously is the game played at the youth level where the girls are concerned in Minnesota.
Yeah. For sure. I think women's hockey gets a rap of not being too physical. And if anyone's ever watched a US-Canada game, rivalry, Olympic, or anything like that, you realize really quick that that's not the case. For youth as well, it's an amazing opportunity for them to be able to come to our games and to learn from us, because a lot of our game can be looked at and taken back to their game. So for me as a kid, I always loved watching both the NHL, but also Team USA and the Olympics, because those are all things for women's hockey that you can take back to the youth level and look up to and look back on. Use the plays. Look at someone like Hillary Knight and see what she does in her game that you can emulate, because that's kind of what I did as a kid. And I think that's definitely something that helped me to continue to grow.
You talk about the rivalries in USA Canada, obviously. I mean, that we could watch any sport, women's hockey, men's hockey, tiddlywinks, it does not matter. Those two countries go at it. It's fun to watch. Given the fact that we just had the draft, 15 rounds, and the personnel on some of these teams, I know your team is made up of a lot of local Minnesotans. Are there any like natural built-in rivalries right now just based on some of these rosters and how they're assembled?
Yeah, obviously, I think a lot of the team stayed local. Canadians stayed Canadian, but obviously we have a few Canadians on our team, some Finnish players. So I think it's all over the board. I think just for me, I'm going to be excited to play against anyone and everyone. I think each team has specific people that I've had rivals against in the past, or teams where a lot of Canadians are on their teams. And obviously, I'm going to have a few of them on my team. So I'm just ready to take whatever we're going to get and give it to whatever team we play. And I think every week it's going to be something new and just as exciting as the last.
A really unique moment for women's professional hockey, Taylor. You folded two leagues into one in the PWHL and hired one of our colleagues, a great hockey person in Brian Burke, as your executive director. Your thoughts, your expectations about the state of pro hockey for females going forward? It really looks like you're well positioned for, a spike in attendance, a spike in interest around the sport at that level.
I would agree. I think women's hockey in the past few years has made a tremendous upward rise, and it's something that has been super important to me and something I've been keeping close to my heart to try to do everything I can to continue that success. Obviously, we have some amazing personnel that are helping us to get off the ground quick. Billie Jean King, like I said, is one of them. Like you mentioned, a few other people as well. Just having everyone that is supporting us and loving on us the way that I think we deserve to be treated as well is awesome. And to think that we're one of the first women's sports to have a CBA signed before our league started is huge, because obviously you want to look after the players. And for this league, it being so new, we wanted to make sure we had some specific rules down and just laid the groundwork before we got to work as a team.
Well, it's certainly exciting. We're looking forward to it. Speaking of rules, did they tell you that stick that Billie Jean King presented to you, you actually have to use that game one opening night? Have they told you that yet?
I mean, just because she touched it, I'll use it. Whatever I need to do.
It's got like a hat trick built into it. That's how it comes with somebody like that presenting that to you. What an honor. Congratulations on that honor. First overall pick in the inaugural draft, and we wish you nothing but the best in the upcoming season.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.